The union representing 100 officers at Canadian Coast Guard communication stations in BC say federal government cuts are putting public safety on the water at risk. Overtime shifts are being eliminated, so in most centres, only 2 officers will be monitoring thousands of square kilometres of ocean. Dean Stoltz reports.
When there's an emergency on the ocean like this one off Comox in November 2009, where a man jumps off a BC ferry and needs to be rescued, a call for help usually goes through one of 5 Coast Guard communication centres, either in Comox, Ucluelet, Victoria, Vancouver or Prince Rupert. But the Canadian Auto Workers Union, which represents 100 officers who work at these stations, says cuts to overtime will put lives on the water at risk.
Anybody who uses the water, what will happen is there will be a delay in communications to search and rescue when we are notified of a distress incident due to the fewer number of people that are on watch at our centres.
The centres are usually staffed by 3 officers, but from time to time one of those officers is on an overtime shift. So the Coast Guard wants to save money, reduce that shift, so only 2 officers could be on duty watching thousands of square kilometres of ocean.
Quickly, the workload will be overwhelming for the officers that are on watch. The first vital moments of a distress case that comes in, the communications with the distress vessel and those that are responding are vital to the success of the outcome of the search and rescue case.
The Federal Minister of Fisheries and Oceans, Keith Ashfield, says the move isn't putting lives at risk.
Oh, look, we would not be making those kind of suggestions if we thought we were going to, for 1 second, put at risk mariners. It's not the case at all. It's just a reevaluate. There's absolutely no job losses here. If I thought for a second that it was going to impact safety, we would not be doing this. It's just not.
Their lives are not necessarily in danger, but they're being compromised by the safety net that's been there for them for generations on this coast. The ability to respond effectively is dependent on 3 people being there in the centre at all times.
The Canadian Auto Workers Union says the real problem stems from poor staffing levels at the centres, adding that MCTS officers work more overtime than anyone in the public service in Canada. These new staffing levels come into effect February 1st.